Every day, we have an opportunity to change our corner of the world. Community Options changes lives of families and of people in need. Community Options was founded in 1989 with the mission to provide housing and employment services to people with disabilities.
The individuals supported by Community Options should be treated like everyone else. And if I were going to buy a home in that community, no one would ask me to complete an application for a group home, even though there were a group of us living together. That group was my family, and that no one should do the same to these individuals who are being supported by Community Options. As a result, we advocated, we stomped our feet, we yelled a little bit. I said to Robert, calm down, and Robert said to me, get more excited, this is terrible. And between the two of us, we were able to convince that community, to convince the individuals who were running the local zoning board and their lawyer that they were mistaken. And now these two individuals and their home, and they continue to reside in this wonderful home in a lovely community, are a part of the community.
It was insulting the way that people were looked at. That's why we actually banned the word retarded.
That I know you. Yes. That was your legislation.
And that was my legislation for one reason. I said, someone said, why? I said, because words actually matter. I said, look, my daughter's different. She knows she's different, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't care and love. This is the biggest fear for parents is what happens to my child.
I felt like I had been thrown into a time machine, right? So we walked into a cottage in which there were a group of men in a darkened room, and there was a couple of staff in there, and we walked in and I said, so what's going on here? And they said, well, this is active treatment. I said, wow, what kind of active treatment is this? Well, this is sensory reduction therapy. And I said, nap time? How long did they do this? They said 2 hours. 2 hours. So I walk into the room and 3 of these guys, stranger in the room, immediately come over and want to begin to engage, and several of these individuals are nonverbal, and so so I start talking to them, and the staff are like, no, you're gonna get hurt. I said, what? I'm okay. I deal with I have a 14-year-old daughter who now at this point weighs more than I do and has some behavioral challenges, and I'm not afraid of these guys, and it's okay. And I looked them in the eyes and I talked to them, and one of the guys was sitting looking at this window. He's sitting in a wheelchair, and the window is about 3 feet above where he can see, and he is so desperate to just get light, he's sitting there looking at this window. And after 15 minutes in this room, I walked out and I literally burst into tears, and I just cannot believe that in this day and age, we continue to have facilities that look like that.
It's been said that there is a direct relationship between the severity of your disability and your level of loneliness. By getting people with disabilities regular, typical jobs in the community, they would have a chance to make relationships with other people. With this in mind, Community Options developed various businesses to teach people with disabilities real skills in an inclusive environment. Community Options owns and operates businesses like The Daily Planet, Vaseful Flowers and Gifts, and Presence of Mind.
Good morning, this is Daily Planet. May I help you, please?
So this is another one of our rooms, Governor, and as you can see, we have 2 big printers right here. Yeah. We do a lot of our folding projects in here, and it comes off of these 2 printers. South Carolina has some, and Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah, so you're doing good.
Yeah.
Good in the South.
Anybody that has a disability can, if they're in that state, they can go to these community houses and get the same support that we provide here.
This fiscal year, we've placed 39 people with disabilities in jobs around the state.
Yay!
That's great.
That's wonderful, Stephen.
Isn't that good?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Tonight, we are gathered to honor a man who changed countless corners of the world by imagining and establishing processes and ideas to better help people with disabilities. He placed thousands of people with disabilities from large institutional care facilities into small family-like housing throughout the state of New Jersey. He included people who had been segregated from society, This man utilized his power in office for the good of all people and laid the groundwork that changed the nation.
Thank you, Governor Kean, for building pride in the Garden State and our country.
Thank you, Governor Kean, for establishing the Governor's Council on the Prevention of Developmental Disabilities.
Thank you, Governor Kean. Because of you, those receiving our assistance are no longer forced to leave their homes, their loved ones, and move into institutions.
Merci, Governor Kean. Because of you, no longer are families torn apart.
For protecting our shorelines.
I can't say it.
Thank you, Governor Kean, for never letting politics stand in the way of progress.
Thank you.
Every day we have an opportunity to change our corner of the world. Change happens, one gesture, one person, one moment at a time.